What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Kaiju number 8 video. All right, folks, we have officially done it. You guys can see Kaiju number 1 has been defeated. The speed of the neutralization amazes far beyond what we expected. The next raid will be available later this month. That's right, we're getting a second raid, folks. You guys can see right here, September 8th, main story chapter 3 drops. September 16th, Fierce Battle Area Limited. So this is going to be a limited event that drops. And later in September, we're getting it a second raid. So it looks like the way the schedule is going to work is once a month we're going to get a storyline. Once a month we're going to probably get a fierce battle area of some sort. Hopefully once a month we'll get 2 raids. Now currently that's the limitations for what the content is, and you guys can see here, please note the raid battle mission rewards will expire on September the 12th, so make sure you guys log in and get that right now. So right here you guys can see the details on everything that has been neutralized. I think this is really cool. And then also at the same time, I want to talk a little bit about 2 different things. Number 1, should you guys continue summoning, and number 2, how to manage your stamina, and specifically around expedition. So let's log into the game, guys, and go over all that information. All right, folks, we're back here again. So again, we're continuing with the free-to-play account. Just so everyone is aware, I am not planning to spend a penny on this game for a couple of reasons. Number 1, I feel like you can do a lot of this as free-to-play. Now, this may change, and this is kind of what I want to talk about, right? Right now, the game is very free-to-play friendly in regards to at least the ability to get content complete as a player. Pay-to-win players, of course, you will have the benefits of maxing out all of your stats, getting yourself the Ascensions, and that's what we want to focus on here is Ascensions, and then we're going to do an expedition video following that. Okay, so first off, the current gacha system works as follows, right? We have ourselves the pickup, because currently that's Reno with his weapon, and then we have the standard banner. Okay, now I don't know if this pickup unit is planning to be dropped into the actual banner itself, but a couple things to remember is the gacha medals that you have currently here will also transfer over to the next character, and the next character is supposed to be the pink hair girl who's a tank. So that's who's coming out. Now the regular gacha, if it does possess the pickup character into it, then that's fantastic. Then you want to even hold on to this. Here is how it's going to work. Okay, with Ascensions. As you guys are aware, with Ascensions, you've probably done a few already. Every time you ascend a character will get a bonus passive or something to their skills that will be an upgrade. So for example, for Reno, let's look at Reno specifically because I've got him at A0. So Ascension 0, we're going to call it A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. Okay, there's 6 Ascension stages. We're going to call it A. That'll be the acronym, just so everyone's aware. So with A1, before activating the ultimate, applies crit damage plus 30% to this unit. That is massive. That is a massive amount of crit damage, right? Because if you look at his stats, right, you guys can see the crit damage on my character, for example, is 50%. So I am going to be farming the fungal set to get him up and running at a better rate. So his crit damage will increase even further. But right now, he's going to be able to do the 50% crit damage. That's the base. And then if you add this here, before he activates his ultimate, it's going to add another 30% to that base, giving you 80% crit damage. All right, keep that in mind. So A1 is pretty good. When attacking a kaiju in ice crystal state, this unit's defense penetration rate is 16%. So that means if it's a high and kaiju with a lot of defense pen ignores defense itself. Pretend it's like a minus of 16% essentially. We don't know the exact math, but I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. So further upping his damage. Now this over here, the young talent, the Ascension 3 is always the same for everybody. You just get an extra 2 points onto your combat skill. So whatever the combat skill is, say is level 1, it increases to 3. Let's say you get it to 10, it increases to 12. So it goes over and all the percentages will increase. So this is a massive boost to damage. Restoration of cold energy. Each time ice damage from ice crystal activates, the unit's ultimate gauge goes +2, which means he'll be casting his ultimate more often, right? So this is going, you guys can see the trend here. It's all geared towards his ultimate. So at the end of the day, his ultimate is what it's all about. Compatible with the strongest weapon. Again, getting yourself ultimate, passive skills, and follow-up skills +2. So again, boosting that skill damage. And then last one, awaken compatible user. Ice additional damage multiplier caused by ice crystal is +60. So is it worth summoning for him further than that? The answer simply is this. Yes, if you want to do the maximum amount of damage. If you're free to play, no. What I would suggest personally is get him to just if you want to push him to A1, you're more than welcome to, but A0 is more than enough. I would rather focus on getting his weapon, because you can see here with his weapon, he gets crit rate 24%, right on top of the base crit rate that he has. After equip unit activates combat skills, applies ice damage dealt to 8% for 3 turns, and ultimate charge rate for 7% for 3 turns to the equipped unit maxed 2 times. So this is probably the better choice. So I know you don't have an option, unfortunately. So the question has always been, Payne, do I go for enhancements and advance these characters, or do I go for the weapon? Ideally, you want to have one A0 of weapon, one A0 of Reno, and just stop there. Now, the reason why I say this also is because your actual ascended 4-star characters are going to carry a lot of that burden that you have, because look at this, for example, right? For the Hoshiro, or is it Hoshiro? Sorry, I forgot his name. Yeah, Hoshina. Sorry, Hoshina, not Hoshiro. Hoshina. Wrong character. Hoshina, the blade, like if you see is A1 here, battle buddy crit rate plus 20%. So that now will combine with the weapon that Reno has, giving him 44% crit rate, which is massive, right? So this right here, all allies follow up skill damage is 25%. A3 obviously boosts his skills. A4 over here, after activating ultimate, battle buddy's ultimate gauge goes to 25. So what you want to ideally do, guys, is you want to actually focus on getting your 4-star support units advanced, because they're much easier to do that. And when you advance your 4-star characters, they become absolute powerhouses for your other units. Like you can see here, Mina for 4 stars, after defeating a Kaiju with ultimate advances this unit's next action order by 20%. Turn duration of attack buff is increased by 1, right? You guys can see here, there's a lot that these guys do to help your actual characters do better, your better characters do better, right? And you can see over here, effect amount of damage dealt, buff in combat damage dealt, applied by morale by 5%, so making it better. While morale is applied to an ally, this unit's ultimate shot damage increases by 15. So this kind of helps her and the units. But again, this is just showing you guys how the 4-star characters are more beneficial. At the start of the battle, applies 10% speed to this unit, right? So like there's a lot here that helps multiply the unit, but also more as well for your actual character. So there's a lot here, guys, that's going on with characters that you absolutely want to advance, and every single advancement will either make the 4-star unit better or will make the character they're buddying to better. So your support units for 4-star characters, guys, should absolutely try to get advancements. Now for everybody else, I would highly recommend just to hold off for now. I know for a fact dupes play a major role in all gachas. They do. There's just no way around this, right? It's going to be a major role no matter how we look at it. So you're going to have to expect eventually that dupes will make a difference, and that advancements are going to impact. But here's what ends up happening. By the time that is impactful to the account, and by the time this is a competitive game, those characters that you're looking at right now of thinking of advancing are going to be power crept by newer units. It's inevitable, guys. And with a game like this, I can honestly comfortably see a unit being power crept every month. I could probably see a unit being power crept every month, maybe every month and a half. So don't expect to hold on to a unit for too long. Again, this is an assumption. I just know the trend for most gacha games, and that's how they normally go, right? It's like a character comes out that's limited, everybody wants it, they spend a ton of money, it's the honeymoon phase, and then they advance that character to max, and then another character comes out that needs way less advancements, and all of a sudden blows that other unit out of the water, and people are upset about it. So remember, keep your expectations low on a lot of the characters. Advancements are nice to haves, right? They're nice to haves, but they're not a necessity by any means for any of these characters. All you're doing right now, because it's a non-competitive game, is just looking at bigger numbers. You're picking bigger numbers. So at the end of the day, it's your call if you want to. My personal preference here is to hold on and save, and I might be saving for quite some time, because if the unit that comes out isn't going to be a make or break unit, I'm probably going to pass and hold on for a unit that actually is a make or break unit that will make the difference in combat and help push content further. Right now, all you need is 2 DPS, 2 support. No tanks are required, right? At the moment, that's how it is. That may change, but right now, that's the point. So right now, guys, for Ascensions, my personal preference is save up everything you can for future content and wait for better characters to come out. I think Reno is obviously an amazing character, but I feel like he's going to be overshadowed very, very quickly in what we consider the power creep once the honeymoon phase is over, and you don't want to be caught slacking and not having the crystals in order to get the proper units, even at A0. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.